just recently, the courts sentenced Bishop Coleman to 3 years in prison. Not only that, y'all, it was revealed in court that over the span of 2 decades, Bishop Coleman had been married 10 times.
Is it A, you're after the money and you're mentally unstable? B, you're after the money and you're mentally unstable? C, you're after the money or you're mentally unstable? Or D, is it all of the above?
A man in Houston, Texas, who's accused of posing as a traveling bishop and being married to several women at the same time, has ties to the Valley.
51-year-old Orlando Coleman was sentenced to 3 years in prison for marrying a third woman just months after being on probation for being married to 2 other women.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Corey McRae met with a pastor in Sharon who says Coleman was a clergy member in the organization at their church. Corey.
Derek Madison, good evening. And what appears to be an elaborate scheme, Coleman went state to state marrying women from Kentucky, Virginia, and Texas along the way. Orlando Coleman was sentenced to 3 years in prison on bigamy charges, a third-degree felony in the state of Texas. The most recent charge happened just months after he was placed on probation for the same offense. The 51-year-old portrayed himself as a traveling bishop.
That boy ain't learned his lesson, huh? Boy, you ain't learned your lesson? Something wrong with these people.
With 3 different women from 3 different states since 2019. Melvin Baker, a bishop at Temple of Praise Church in Sharon, says Coleman has ties to the area and the two had a friendship spanning 30 years.
When I was 17 years old, I preached my first sermon. He was there. And like I said, we grew up. So we have a friendship that was consistent over the years of about 30 years.
Baker says Coleman came to him back in September to join the clergy, but that the clergy agreed on multiple conditions, including restoration, something Coleman reluctantly agreed to.
We knew that there was some issues, but we were trying to help him recover from whatever it was.
Little did they know that Coleman would wind up behind bars at Harris County Jail in Houston. Bishop Baker says they severed ties with Coleman and are frustrated, but know they did what they could.
Like, this is senseless. Like, why do you keep doing this?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, 1 Timothy 3:2 tells us that an overseer, bishop, pastor, leader, shepherd, whatever you want to call it, must be above reproach, the husband of one wife. Trash.
Bishop Coleman was in court after an investigation revealed that he was married to not 1 but 2 women at the same time, a lady in Texas and also a lady in
Why does boy look like Rick Fox mixed with Sinbad?
Carolina. The local news station in Houston, shout out to KPRC Channel 2, was able to catch up with Bishop Orlando Coleman during the time, and he basically told them that he thought he was divorced from the lady in North Carolina. However, she failed to do her part, and so basically it was her fault. Bishop Orlando Coleman was put on probation during that time. Now, bigamy is outlawed in all 50 states, and in Texas, it's a third-degree felony. If an individual is convicted of bigamy, they may face 2 to 10 years in prison, criminal fines up to $10,000, or a combination of both. Now listen to this. During the time that he was on probation for marrying those 2 women, Bishop Coleman married another woman.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
What ain't this man understanding? And you a bishop?
Bishop, you just won't stop.
He won't.
And just recently, the courts sentenced Bishop Coleman to 3 years in prison. Not only that, y'all, it was revealed in court that over the span of 2 decades, Bishop Coleman had been married 10 times.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Trash. What is wrong? Is it A, you're after the money and you're mentally unstable? B, you're after the money and you're mentally unstable? C, you're after the money or you're mentally unstable? Or D, is it all of the above?
What's going on with some of these leaders, and especially some of these men in the Lord's church?
That's what I'm asking.
Now, prosecutors had this to say in court about the good bishop. If you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself. You know I ain't gonna play with you. Prosecutors assert that Bishop Orlando Coleman married these women for housing and financial security. At the heart of this repeat offender scheme was a plan to defraud women and take advantage of them for financial gain.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
But I thought he was also supposed to be free from the love of money.
Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg said in a news release. Now, District Attorney Kim Ogg went on to say, this man used the church to camouflage his scams and to hide from any accountability or responsibility. Investigators believe that Bishop Orlando Coleman's first marriage was in 2001. In the years that followed, the bishop traveled to states including Texas, Delaware, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina to meet and to pray, P-R-E-Y, on church-going women. My Lord. Now, I think we need to hear a word from the good bishop, don't you? As a matter of fact, I think it's apropos. So I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me. I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
But so many times as leaders, we give up because we're in a bound situation. Paul was locked up in chains, but he never gave up. He was excited to be in jail for the gospel's sake. He was excited to go through for the gospel's sake. He hadn't broken any law. He was in jail for the gospel's sake.
You said that already.
And you're going to have to realize sometime you're going to be in a place of imprisonment, if only for a season, for the gospel's sake.
Well, that is not your testimony, is it?
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
You ain't in there for the gospel's sake, my boy.
This is the good news. And the good news is that the bad news is gone.
What?
All the glory, all of the honor, all of the praise, they belong to God.
Wow. All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, we heard Bishop Orlando Coleman say on that Facebook Live that the good news is that the bad news is gone. And I gotta say, Bishop, I agree with you 100%. Point in case, you were the bad news in this situation, and now you're going to prison for a couple of years. And if that ain't good news, I don't know what is.
Oh, my.
Glory. Now, there are some people that may say, why would this bishop do this to these women in the church? Why would he deceive all of these women like this? My answer to that is because he knew he could get away with it for as long as he has. Because there are a lot of gullible people who attend religious institutions that believe just because someone has a title or they're in a leadership role that they will have your best interest in mind and that they would never, ever do anything to harm you. That's not true. There are individuals who seek out good, honest, God-fearing people just to try to take advantage of them. So the onus is upon us not to believe every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because of what? Many false prophets are gone out into the world. Oh, y'all better walk with me. The onus is upon us, my YouTube brothers and sisters, not to believe every Orlando, Olivia, or Oscar that comes into your life saying that God told me we're going to be together. Well, your response should be, maybe God did tell you that. I'm not going to argue with you. But until God tells me that, I'm not making a move on only what you say. So have a good day. I don't have time to play. I got things to do with my life. Now, I'm sure those 10 women that were married to Bishop Orlando Coleman probably thought they had won a prize. And I'm sure they told their family and friends. The Lord blessed me and I met a man. Well, how did you meet him? I met him at service. At service. Yeah, at service. I gave my tithe and offerings. I fasted and cried. They opened the doors of the church and a light-skinned man arrived. Like, come on,
wow.
girl, get out of here. Come on, lady. It ain't that easy. You got to do your research. You got to do your background check. And I mean go way, way, way back. Like the song we used to sing in the Sanctified Church. Let's go way back in God. Let's go way, way, way back. You got to go way, way, way back into people's backgrounds when you're dating them or thinking about marrying them. Am I talking right? Stop being so desperate for a man or for a woman. Well, Dawson, my life is incomplete if I'm not married. Well, that's you. Don't bring that negativity over here with your incomplete self.
Oh, my God.
Now, I want to give a shout out to Church of God in Christ, Reverend Melvin T. Baker out in Sharon, Ohio. His church is called Temple of Praise Cathedral Church of God in Christ. Now, Reverend Melvin T. Baker and other clergymen and women tried to take Bishop Orlando Coleman through the restoration process, but they said he was reluctant about the restoration process. Reverend Melvin T. told a local news reporter that they had to sever ties with Bishop Orlando Coleman, but deep down inside, he knows that they did what they could to try to help him. Bishop Coleman didn't want no help. He's a scammer. I've said this time and time again, and I'll continue to say it. The individuals who get hurt the most in religious institutions are women and children. Yes, I know men get hurt as well. But most of the time, it's women and children. Just because a man or a woman approaches you and they're in your face, it doesn't mean you continually allow them to be in your space, i.e. your life. You just don't let anyone come in and set up shop in your life. You got to look out for you. Now, Bishop Orlando Coleman, I want to leave you with these words from that classic song written by Clint Ballard Jr. And I like Linda Ronstadt's version, so here you go. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Coleman, you're no good. And I hope that during this time of confinement that you will reflect on your horrible actions and get right with God.
Bishop.
Denied.